Hello everyone, I am on a little early, but that shouldn't be a problem. I know a few of you guys are having trouble staying up. Peter might not be able to hang out too long, so I thought I'd pop on early and say hello to everyone. So hope you're doing okay there, Fu Man Poo. Been up since 3:30 a.m. And where you're at right now, it's pretty much 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's pretty much 6 p.m. Pacific time. So just stay as long as you can. I'm pretty mellow today too. Haven't been getting the greatest sleep lately, and did some pretty hard basketball work today at the gym. So I'm super chill. So I'll be chill with y'all. So Travis, you're actually on first. As soon as I went live, you're right there. So welcome. And Peter, you've been so busy with your vegan festival. Well, while we're just getting started, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your vegan festival that you're involved with, Peter? Where's it at? And what are you doing with it? Hey, Dr. Chain, thanks for the first super chat tip of the evening, Dr. Chain, and I like your newer name now. Yeah, I just saw Mike's video. It came out earlier today, I think, right? And yeah, he did mention me in his response to Mommy Tang. And the cool thing about Mike is that on these why I'm no longer vegan video responses, I usually come out really quick. And he takes a little bit more time. Which is cool. He gets the benefit of the additional content that Mommy Tang's been making of herself eating meat and crying and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm glad that Mike acknowledged my video. Hey, thank you, Brian, for the second super chat tip there. Let me read it to you. Thoughts on Mommy Tang exploiting the veganism title in all of her new videos and she's getting millions of views. Wow, that's really sad. Yeah, Mike showed how all her videos, I was a vegan for 14 years. I was a vegan for every video. I was a vegan for 14 years. I'm gonna eat meat for the first time. I'm gonna eat eggs for the first time. I'm gonna eat some animal crap for the first time. Every time even before she takes a bite, she's already starts crying. I go, I don't know if she's acting or she's just going through some weird stuff right now, but yeah, it's just really wow, I don't even want to say anything, to be honest with you. I'm sure someone's gonna take what I say and just go, wow, look how horrible and mean and rotten a person Ryan is a sale. But I'm speechless, seriously, to exploit the fact that you are no longer vegan and crying as you eat your first. I could see here's my whole thing. If you were truly switching from a vegan diet, and we know veganism is not a diet, it's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. But my point is, wow, Brian, her video eating steak got over 22 million views on TikTok. Wow. Well, let me continue my thought there. Thanks for sharing that, and thanks for the super chat tips there. Like I said, if someone somehow just wants to quit being vegan, I don't know why, but whatever. Okay, just do it already. I mean, I'll be bummed, but I'll be way more bummed if you do all this crap, like make these videos just saying, oh, I couldn't get enough protein and all my friends are not vegan, so I'm going to not be vegan. You're just moving your lips, and just a bunch of gibberish. But my point is, if you're going to, eat your first non-vegan foods for the first time in whatever years, 14 years, why does it have to be a public spectacle where you're monetizing it and giving a big FU to all the vegans out there? I mean, it's just frustrating. I mean, she has the right to do what she wants and make a living and all that. But some things like this, I think if you truly were vegan, you'd be a little more sensitive to all the people that you're giving a big FU to. And, it's just, anyway, what is that? Satisfaction survey. No, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm in a live stream. Hey, Peter, thanks for being a member for 50 months. Okay, you have Robert Cheek speaking at a vegan festival in your hometown in Victoria. Cool. Well, tell Robert I said hi. I haven't seen that guy in a long time, probably since we did the vegan athlete panel back at OC Veg Fest in Orange County, California. Or SoCal Veg Fest, I think it's called now. Yeah. Anyway, cool, chill dude. It's not only a sad day for the animals, Brian. It's just a sad day to see someone exploit not only animals by just going now, I'm going to go eat all these animal products, just exploit animals, but also just exploit vegans and veganism, like exploiting the tag, exploiting what the word is, we are just like, hey, I was a vegan for 14 years. Now I'm on your side, guys. Look at me. I'm eating meat and I'm crying. When she's crying like that, she's really justifying in other people's minds, meat eaters' minds, like, look, yeah, those vegans are wrong. They truly have been craving animal products and meat all these years. Look at how they're crying when they're eating. It's funny how Mike the Vegan's video today showed he made a mockery of this 9 years ago, like a fake BuzzFeed type video of someone going anti-vegan or someone just first giving up meat as a vegan or trying meat as a vegan for the first time in years and crying like the fake tears. And it's anyway, yeah. Anyway, let's see what else you guys saying. And every video she's bashing vegan food too. Like, why? Like, is she insincere in her hundreds and hundreds of videos? Like Mike was showing her making this delicious tofu. It looks really good. And she takes it like, delicious. Are we to say that she's lying now? I mean, but she how what is she telling the truth if she says something is good or bad? Like, what is she bashing about vegan food, Brian? There's no such thing as vegan food. There's plants. Like, what is there to bash about plants? That they're not tasty enough? Well, usually you make your meat tastier adding plant spices and stuff to them. So I don't know what that's all about. And Mike said that she's like perpetuating this dumb myth that people think vegan food is a life of austerity and simplicity and no flavor. Like, no. I mean, if you want to eat some like Ben and Jerry's ice cream, some Cherry Garcia or fish food, I just need to walk down to my local market here, hand them $6 or whatever to get a pint, and it's vegan. You don't have to give it up. And from what I remember, because I used to eat it a lot before I went vegan, it tastes the same. When I first had my first dairy-free Ben and Jerry's, like, oh my God, this is Cherry Garcia. This is fish food. This is exactly it. They totally recreated it. So I'm not sure why people think vegan stuff is bland compared to the originals or whatever. It's not. If you have smart people making your food, it'll taste pretty much the same, maybe even better. So anyway, vegan engineer, you never heard of Mommy Tang? Well, now you have, huh? Let's see. Hey, former metalhead, you are friends with the founder of Veg News magazine. He lives not far from you, and some other ethical vegans live close as well. Awesome. Do they still make Tang? Oh yeah, Tang, that like space age orange powder drink. I don't know. I mean, all us older people remember that, huh? Yeah, Cardigan, she had viral vegan mukbangs, but she probably hasn't had a lot in a long time. I bet you that 22 million views she got recently, as Brian said here, it's probably the most viewed video she's had in a while. And I suspect, I'm not going to make any accusation, I'm just giving my suspicions that some of these people that do these "Well, I'm no longer vegan" videos are they make their living off this stuff. If they're not getting the views that they got 4 years ago with their vegan content, they probably get a little nervous and they think, oh, okay, what's more important to me, being against animal cruelty and exploitation, or a constant, reliable, dependable stream of income from the video content they create and sponsorships and stuff like that. So again, I'm not saying this is true of any particular person, but I suspect there's been a few of those people that said, hey, my video views are down 50% from a couple years ago. I'm not making as much money. This vegan thing is not working out for me. I'll do something else now, I'm sure they do the calculation in their minds. They figure they'll take a hit from the vegan followers that they once had, and then gain a whole bunch of more and more followers of non-vegan followers, so it probably works out for them. Hey, Uncle, I saw you earlier right when I came on. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you right then, Uncle. How's it going there? You might be my only moderator tonight. Peter said he only can hang for just a little bit. So Tang still exists. Did you ever have Tang, Uncle? That sounds like something you're in the age group like me to have had Tang before. I think I kind of remember what it tastes like too. Hey, Nikki Tofu Princess. It's one thing to stop being vegan. Like I said, if you just want to stop being vegan for whatever reasons, I'll be a little bummed, but I'll have to accept it, But anyway, to put on a show crying, saying, and starting all these videos, I was vegan for 14 years and I'm going to eat my first steak. It's like, I was vegan for 14 years. I'm going to have my first egg. Like, what the, it's like, Yeah, to put on a show crying and putting veganism down. It's like, why do you have to put it down? Why can't you say, hey, I'm not vegan anymore? Why do you have to like demonize it? She's pretty much saying, hey, I was vegan for 14 years and what a horrible mistake I made. It totally ruined my life. I gained a couple pounds. As a 30-something, 40-something woman, I couldn't look like a 19-year-old vegan influencer, even though she's a mommy and stuff like that. Just like, no, nothing horrible happened, Anyway, yeah, like, why do you have to put it down? Why can't you say, I'm not saying I agree with this. This would never happen to me. Why can't someone say like her, like, hey, I was vegan for 14 years. My life's totally different now. I don't have a vegan husband. I have a new vegan meat-eating boyfriend, all these meat-eating friends. I'm just going to go hang with them now, and that's my life and circle, and I don't want to be vegan anymore. Why? Okay, that I would accept. I would think is weird, but I understand it because that's the number one reason why people leave veganism, as I showed in my last video about her, the Funalytics report from 2014, I think it is. But anyway, my point is, okay, let me find out where I was going to with all that. But why do you have to say it was horrible? It was a horrible lifestyle, and the food is so bland, and I did all these horrible things. I gained a couple pounds, like what the fuck, Anyway, Uncle, yes, you did drink Tang. Awesome. Hey, Cardigan, what's that? You agree with Ryan's comment about Mommy Tang's comments during her current vlogs while eating meat? Yeah. What did Fu Manpu say about that? Did Nikocado hit 1,000 pounds? Let us pray. Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch them anymore. I just saw those images that Mike the Vegan showed. I don't even know how recent those were. Oh wow, what a generous super chat tip there, Brian, or tips I should say. Thank you. She said that she went non-vegan because she wants to lose weight. For meanwhile, she's posted all these videos eating junk food, and fried chicken in huge quantities. Well, here's the thing, though, Brian. She said now she's not really trying to lose weight. She says she was chasing weight loss for 14 years. That was the sole reason why she went vegan. And she apparently said she never gave it up. She kept that 14-year focus of losing weight. Now that she's eating meat, though, she's not bothered by losing weight because now she wants to put on muscle. So she might figure if she puts on a couple pounds, it must be muscle, huh? If you go and eat out like an enormous quantity of junk fried chicken, when you put weight on, it's muscle, right? Because, fried chicken turns instantly to muscle. I'm not sure. But anyway, so as my point, that's a contradiction to think like, oh, if I'm vegan, I gain weight. Bad. If I'm not vegan, I gain weight. Good. Like, what? How come? This just makes no sense. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Travis. But yeah, people hate vegans so much that when they see someone go ex-vegan and make these videos, I was vegan for 14 years, I'm gonna have my first chicken. They love it. Yes, I knew it was like that for vegans. I know they hate eating all that rabbit bird food, just perpetuating some stupid myth. Like, no, I don't. No, never a day goes by where I feel like, gee, I'm eating some crappy food. I happen to live with an amazing chef. She makes the food taste great. And we go to amazing vegan restaurants. In fact, our favorite vegan Italian restaurant, it's packed all the time. It's just a good Italian restaurant. It's packed by vegans and non-vegans. Probably more non-vegans go there because it's just good food. Carmel, you think green is my color? Oh, thank you. This is actually a gift from Heidi. I seen you there, Heidi. Yeah, this is a present Heidi sent me for Christmas, right? So thank you. Yeah, put it on again. Yeah, I can't wear the other one. It's a little harder with the message, but yeah, this one, yeah, fits up to upper third of the shirt, so it gets on camera really easily. So thank you, Heidi. Hey, VLAM's here too. Awesome. And who else is joining us here? Hardly Tin Man, Adonis, Carmichael, and I should mention that is did I say AJ's here? AJ's here, and Late Model, formerly known as Sarah, is not going to be here with us tonight. Remember, she mentioned she was going to the San Francisco Bay Area for a wedding. So if you watch after the fact, we miss you. I always know she's gonna be here because before I'll launch this watch page for my live stream, like usually like 3 or 4 hours before it goes. When I do it at 6 p.m. And often she'll make a comment. I go, wait, her usual comment's not there today. Oh yeah, she's gone for the week. So anyway, yeah, we will try to hold it together here without her. Let's see, Uncle, did I have a pizza already today? I wish I did. No, I didn't go to my Italian restaurants, but I want to thank you guys so much for our for last live stream. It was my birthday. It was like the exact birthday. In fact, it was we saw the time go by. It was 6:50 when it was on my birth certificate that I was born. So 6:50 p.m. and here we are having the live stream during it. And thank you so much, guys, for our all the great super chat tips that you sent us. I mean, I couldn't resist. Like when the stream is over, we walked down to our favorite vegan Italian restaurant and had us a nice little birthday feast. I believe Angie shared the video of that, right, guys? So I want to thank AJ and Sarah and Jordan, Vegan Jordan, and everyone else last week who donated. I can already see a bunch of the names here in my thing from last week. Yeah, VLAM did as well. Brian did as well. Let's see. And Don Jackson is well, and Peter. So thanks everyone for allowing Angie and I to go out on your treat for my birthday. So thanks so much. And I have to say, we really, really needed it. It's been a rough few weeks for us, not for vegan stuff, but other aspects of our business. Just a lot of stress. So thank you so much. It was great to just get out and forget about everything and celebrate getting old with the woman I love. So thank you guys. Oh, Carmichael, yeah, you got the book. Yeah, you said you have not tried any of the recipes from the cookbook yet. You are overwhelmed, and in a good way. What I like to tell people, and forgive me if I said it before, yeah, it can be overwhelming when you get a new book like that, a new recipe book and stuff, and it's like, just find a few. Just find like 2 or 3 that are speaking to you and they look relatively doable, given your skills and ingredients. Just find a few. The book is just to give you a ton of suggestions. In no way is saying you have to make all of these. Just make a few, Just find a few go-tos that become like staples in your life, like the Tuscan kale pilaf is for us, and then slowly expand out at your own pace. Hey, Fu Man Poo, you have a few more minutes of consciousness left to stay as long as you can. I feel pretty chill too. What do you live in the, what's that, Metalhead? You live in a closet with 2 giant brooms? What are you saying there? Oh, you saw the birthday video, guys. Oh, cool, AJ. Awesome. Yeah, thanks. We had a great time that night. Yeah, I tell you, I was thinking about my birthday week, like the day before, maybe driving down to Oceanside or Marina Del Rey. There's some really nice vegan restaurants out there, and I just wasn't feeling like it. I just wanted to keep it chill, wanted to walk in the cool, warm evening air, not have to drive, not have to worry about parking or getting rear-ended or whatever on the freeway or anything. So just kept it simple and kept it local, and no regrets. Had a wonderful time. What's up, Metalhead? You had a rough couple weeks. Your former coworker, who was really good friends with, oh my God, shot himself and died. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that, Metalhead. Your former coworker, you're good friends with them too. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh man, that must be really tough to lose someone your age, a friend. Yeah, wow. So yeah, stay strong there, Metalhead. Just hang out with us here tonight. We'll just try to help each other out with our good vibes. That's all we can do in life, right? Just be cool to each other. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm letting everyone speak to Metalhead right now. And he was relatively young, too, born in 2002. Like, so he's a Gen Z. Wow. So sorry to hear that, Metalhead. I hope you're feeling better, and, I'm sorry. Oh, how'd you miss EWK's, yeah, metalhead? I don't know. You just better late than never, Heidi. But yeah, he's the one that was like formerly vegan metalhead. I don't know how. I don't know how he made that known, but yeah, when he made that change, yeah, yeah, Uncle, smash the like button if you haven't already. Yeah, blame YouTube. Yeah, Nikki. Yeah, good advice to metalhead. Yeah, please take care of yourself as needed for sure. So, wow, AJ, you cleaned out your attic in 3 days? That sounds pretty impressive. Wow. Oh, Carmichael, tell me. Yeah, I already mentioned like when you're working or something like that, you like to replay or at least listen to as you're doing other stuff like old videos, old happy, healthy vegan videos from our past. So yeah, sure. I'm just kind of curious. Let's go down memory lane. Name a few of the videos that you saw today. I'm curious.
These lives
Oh,
always revive me and cheer me up. Thanks, Ryan and gang.
oh, I agree so much. I 100% agree with that sentiment there, AJ. I agree too. Yeah, yeah, these lives do revive, make me just a little less bummed about things. So thank you so much. And thank you so much, AJ, once again for your super chat tip and your support. Really, really super appreciated, AJ. I'm glad you get you get to see the results of your donations and super chats. You know the meals and pleasure you bring to us. So thank you. Let's see. Carmichael, why am I afraid of onions and garlic? I don't know if afraid is the right word. I prefer not to consume onions and garlic, and it's not like all onions. There's certain ones that are worse. I think like raw onions don't agree with me well, but ones that have been cooked and like I guess sautéed or whatever, I can eat those pretty well. But just like raw onions, no. Garlic, if I have it in small quantities, I seem to do okay with it. But if I have it in a larger quantity, I smell like crap for like 2 days, and I don't like that. And my wife doesn't like that either. So I don't know if afraid's the right word, but I just prefer not to smell badly if I can help it. Um, Let's see. Hey, Paul, what's that? Good evening, Ryan. What are we going to do about the vegan diet having yet to produce a sumo wrestler from birth? Huh? I don't know. I don't know. That was a criteria that some anti-vegans hold. Like, hey, we've never seen a dude from birth eat nothing but a vegan diet and become a sumo wrestler. Well, maybe one day someone will. But I would point out I don't think vegan diets are as popular in Tokyo, Japan as they are, or just Japan in general as they are in like say the West or the United States or. So that could be that's one determining factor. And you don't meet too many people who were vegan from birth. And technically you cannot be vegan from birth. You can be fed a vegan diet from birth, but you can't be vegan from birth because, as we all know, vegan is not a diet, it's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. But I know what you're saying there, exactly. I just want to point out that distinction there. Oh, you got to get going, Fu Man Poo. I'm glad you were able to stay up as late as you could with us today. Yeah, VLAM, but sumo wrestler from birth, though, right? Veganism is a fail, Oh man, you've gone through something similar to Metalhead there, huh, Nikki? Your eldest brother in his life, as did a cousin. Wow, so traumatic and final. I just hate it. Yeah, it is very final. Um, I can't imagine how horrible that must be. I've never had anyone close to me unalive themselves, so I have no idea how you guys must be feeling, have felt. That's good, Brian. Your baby vegan, yeah, vegan. Not old enough to form the moral concepts yet, but vegan diet. Your baby vegan from birth and perfectly healthy. He's 11 months old. Awesome. Let's see. What the heck you talking about there, Carmichael? Dumb blonde bimbo video? I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. Synergy? What is there? Is there such a thing as end stage veganism? Like, are you talking about as like veganism as a whole, like this, or are you talking about people like Mommy Tang and Gaz Oakley who are at the ends? Were at an end stage to their vegan journey or whatever. You know, what are you talking about there? You hear a woman, Greta, claim when they lost their period. Well, Anima Maria, how do you pronounce that? I'm not a medical doctor or anything like that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's when you cease to menstruate. And I've played clips many times before of a Harvard. What is he? He's not an archaeologist. He's he's a primate anthropologist or something like that. And comparing how, primates can live on a raw diet fine, no problem, but for humans it doesn't work well. In fact, the more and more your diet goes raw, like up to 100% raw, the increased risk that that menstruation ceases for those who menstruate. So when I hear about thanks if you let me pronounce it, amenorrhea, I can't do it. Anyway, my point is when you describe to me like ladies or people on Reddit talking about how they lost their menstruation cycle, the first thing that comes to my mind is caloric deficit. It's not like that the raw diet causes these people to lose their menstruation. It's the insufficient energy, the insufficient calories that they're getting from their food. And their body, the human body's smart. If it's not getting enough calories to do all the things it needs, it'll just start redirecting energy to where it needs to really go. And okay, we don't have to reproduce, but we got to keep the other stuff running fine. So that's the first thing I think of. And that's not a fail of eating plants. It's a failure to get sufficient calories. You could do that on a raw vegan diet. You could do that eating meat but not eating enough. So it has nothing to do with veganism. So good question there. A good thing to bring up. But yeah, that's not a vegan problem. It's an insufficient calorie. It's people like Mommy Tang who went vegan to chase losing weight. That's not what veganism. You could chase losing weight on the South Beach diet or whatever trendy Atkins diet or whatever. That veganism is not a diet. It's a stance against animal cruelty. I don't know how people think, if I eat nothing but plants, I'm going to be really thin. Where'd you hear that at? You can eat plants and be big. You can eat plants and have a moderate in-between body. Where does a body size come? The concept of a certain body size have to do with eating plants? It goes all over the place. I don't get it. That's what you're talking about, Carmichael. Responding to the dumb blonde bimbo bashing veganism. What was she called? Was she the one that was? Oh God. I forgot her name. I think I know what you're talking about. Was she the one that was vegan and she had orthorexia and that's why she had to quit being vegan or something like that? You could have orthorexia on a non-vegan diet. In fact, most orthorexics are not vegan. So I haven't heard about that trial, Heidi, but I don't watch stuff like that. Artists for 2478, what do I think about people talking about arsenic and brown rice and that we shouldn't eat brown rice that often? Well, I made a multi-part video about this many years ago, 9-10 years ago. So just search for it on my channel. It's basically a summary of a bunch of videos that Dr. Greger, nutritionfacts.org made. So I tried to summarize his information down. It was rice inherently put you at high risk of arsenic exposure or something like that. Depends where it was grown. Just a quick summary: in the United States, rice that was grown in the southern states, those typically have a lot of arsenic in the soil because they were growing them where chickens were raised before or something like that, which already made the ground compromised. But rice grown in other areas, like in Northern California, other parts of the world, don't have that problem with the soil already being contaminated or whatever. So yeah, it's been a while since I watched a video, but generally speaking, you shouldn't have much fear about eating brown rice, especially if you know it's not from the southern United States. Nikki, why is Mommy Tang eating fried chicken if she wants to lose weight? Because she said she doesn't care about losing weight anymore. She said that. She was chasing weight loss the entire 14 years as a vegan. And now that she's not vegan, I said vegan, huh? Now that she's not vegan, she doesn't care. She can gain weight and it's cool. So it doesn't make any sense. I understand how, like, oh, someone who wanted to look like a 19-year-old, for the past 14 years as an adult, way past that age, why is this all of a sudden now, like, now I want to get big, Like, you can overeat on a vegan diet, too. You can eat a bunch of junk food on a vegan diet. You don't have to eat a certain way. You can be a junk food, fried food vegan if you want. I am not a real vegan. I'm a Satanist. Maybe so. I don't know. Can't you be both? Can't you be a vegan and a Satanist? I like it when I wear my praise Satan shirt and it freaks out some people. It's like, really? Like, how does that freak you out? I'm talking about Satan, I'm praising Satan. It's like, I'm Buddhist anyway, so I don't believe in any of that metaphysics or anything. I'm Buddhist. Wow. Thanks, Mark. Greetings from Mexico. Love my channel. Awesome. 8 years vegan and going strong. Great. I'm glad you're still alive and you haven't grown a third head yet or whatever people say is going to happen. Jim Lotus doesn't think I'm vegan. I think he's joking, I thought it was a joke, but if someone thinks I'm not vegan, I'm all ears. If you want to try to present your evidence or argument how I'm not vegan, I'll listen to you. Make my day. I really hope he thinks I'm not vegan because I really want to hear what he has to say if that's the case with him. Yeah, VLAM, let's clear something up once and for all. Eating disorders have nothing to do with veganism. So if you're orthorexic or anorexic or not getting sufficient calories because you want to look like a 19-year-old and you're actually 43 or whatever, that has nothing to do with veganism. It has to do with choices that you're making that you could have made on any diet. So don't blame veganism for failures and the way your life is not working the way you want it to. Yeah, God's cool too. I'm not knocking God or anything, Heidi. You made me think I was a Satanist, huh? Not a Satanist like Lucifer, but Satan. Satan. Whatever that food product is, fermented gluten or something like that. Hey Don, as a 52-year-old man, and me now, a 59-year-old man, I don't look like a 19-year-old. I'm fine with that. Totally. I know I don't look like a 19-year-old. I would never think, I want to be tiny and thin like a 19-year-old. It's like, no, and our bodies change. The metabolism of someone in their 50s, or in Mommy Tang's case, their 40s, and now she's late 40s, is nothing like the metabolism of a 19-year-old. Someone who's just a teen, just in high school a couple years ago, a teenager. Your metabolisms are totally not comparable. What's that, Paul? The Buddha did not deny supernatural realities. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Are you talking about like certain concepts of Buddhism that tend towards supernatural, like reincarnation and stuff like that? I think you can be Buddhist without having to believe in that metaphysic of it. Really, Buddhism is the noble truths, and stuff like that. You don't have to believe in a transmigration of the soul or anything like that. You can, but your life would be lived the same way. Your ethics and morals would be exactly the same. The metaphysical beliefs, have them or not, it shouldn't change your Buddhism. That's my opinion. I'm sure someone would disagree. Let's see, what's that, Uncle? What is it called when a person has an undisclosed criteria that must be met before something is true, like losing weight on a diet? I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Uncle. Maybe I'm just too tired from the gym today. What's that, Carmichael? Ryan, you don't remember you're not vegan because you use the word cruelty? Oh, I saw that guy. I went to someone's vegan's live stream. I didn't know who this dude was. I forgot his name. It sounded like he was making a "Why I'm No Longer Vegan" live stream video, but he was not. He was defending veganism. My point was, though, in the comments, I saw a vegan anthem, and he was just doing the same thing he does here. Like, this is early in the day, too. Like, for me, it's 6:30 p.m. right now. I probably saw that other one, like, 6 hours ago. Not today, but just time-wise. So is vegan anthem, like, all day? Just, like, doesn't have a job or something? He just trolls or hangs out in vegan live stream chats and just says all this weird stuff, or is he a bot or something that he doesn't have to have a job? He's electronic and makes these posts. I have no idea. Hey, Jim Lotus, thanks for just subscribing. If you're here, say hello. You think it's a bot, huh, Carmichael? You're not looking for a cult leader? Well, you know, I always make a joke about, you know, people say you vegans are in a cult. You know, I just make a joke. Well, you know, you're right. You know, you're absolutely right. You know, and I'm fessing up. I've been pulling the strings behind the scenes all along. I am the vegan cult leader. You know, so what do you think about that? You know, and that throws them for a loop because they, you know, they didn't really mean it when they think veganism is a cult because it's so silly. Hey, Belfast Bob. Oh, you're talking about Mommy Ting there. What's that? She also said that she felt antisocial as all her friends ate meat and went out. I mean, yeah. Why don't you just say that? Say, hey guys, she should have not did the whole protein thing. Just say, hey, you know, now that I have like a non-vegan boyfriend or husband, it's harder, you know. And then I have all these friends. None of my friends are vegan. It's too much trouble. I'm not into it for the animals. I'm into it for weight loss. And since I don't give a shit about that anymore, I want to get bigger now, muscles and stuff like that. I'm just not being vegan anymore. I mean, it sucks, but I could accept that. You know, it's like I understand. You know, she doesn't care about animals. She just cares about her friends. Cool. You know, that's her thing. But why make all these videos saying, "Oh, I was vegan for 14 years. I'm eating meat." You know, it's like anyway. So anyway, what are you guys asking here? Okay, Heidi, you're talking about her. Yeah, Tang, Mommy Tang. She does seem sort of angry. I'm getting that too, you know. And I feel for her, really. I think the one thing she said in her video that I responded to, I think is 100% true. No bullshit, no lies. I think she is 100% sincere and honest when she's talking about, you know, trying to grapple with some mental health issues right now. I can kind of see it in her eyes, I think. I'm not trying to diagnose through the internet, but that's the sense I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting. And you know, sometimes you have to just go off vibes a little bit, and you don't have, you know, empirical evidence to justify your claims or beliefs or suspicions. But that's the sense I'm getting from her. And yeah, I see it in the confusion of her videos, crying while eating meat. She's going through something. Unfortunately, she's going through it in a way that's just really disrespectful to veganism and all the people who are kind to her for her, what they thought her vegan activism was, speaking at Veg Fest and stuff like that. So anyway. Baha, are you joking there? You need protein to maintain muscle mass? You're joking, right? Right? You can't be serious, because if what you're saying there is true, what would that mean for reality? It would mean what would we expect to see or not see in the actual world? If what you're saying is true, there wouldn't be vegan bodybuilders, vegan, like, you know, Olympic level vegan weightlifters and stuff like that. They wouldn't exist, right? Because if you're saying you got to eat meat to put on muscle, like, did these people, men and women, just magically sprout muscle? It was like divine intervention. God came down from heaven and zapped them and muscles magically appeared or something like that. I think you're joking, right? See, there's Jim Lotus, a vegan bodybuilder, lots of muscle. I mean, I don't have to show images of like Nimai Delgado or anything like that. You know, you guys know. What's that? Hey, Linho, thoughts on lab cultivated meat? From the little bit I know about it, there's a couple ways to make it. It sounds like, bottom line though, there needs to be like at least a small herd of animals kept to get the whatever they need. I'm not a scientist, the cells or whatever to create lab grown meat, and the animals don't have to be harmed or anything like that. So, you know, bottom line is lab grown meat isn't really the target demographic isn't vegans, right? It's for people who want to eat meat. It's not like a Beyond Burger or an Impossible Burger or steak or whatever, or a black bean patty or something like that. It's meat. It's fucking meat. You know, it didn't come from slaughtering an animal. It's for people who would say, I could never go vegan, but I wouldn't mind paying a little less for meat. That's the hope. They get the scales of production kicking in so they can produce it at a price that's, you know, competitive or less than meat. It doesn't have all the environmental problems. It doesn't have to slaughter millions of animals. I think it's a win for your average meat eating person. It's a win for like animals and zoos and stuff like that. They can expand to those markets. But yeah, I don't see any reason why a vegan would want to eat it. If it ever became available and like a reasonable price and was presented to me, I'd say, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to eat meat. I think meat is gross. I think meat is like shit or poop, you know? It's things I don't want to put in my mouth because I find them gross. So yeah, that's how I feel about lab-grown meat. Did I answer your question? Poop wall, like who? Okay, Uncle, tell me. Since I'm just kind of spacey today for my gym trip. I played a lot of basketball today. So, who should I be on the lookout for? Uncle, tell me. Who's going crazy here? Is it Baja? It's Baja, huh? Baja, you're just trolling. Okay, Baja. Hey, rein it in here, bro. Just lock in, focus. Just you're throwing a bunch of poop on the wall. You're just. What about this? What about that? What about muscle? What about animals roaming this earth freely? Just pick one thing. Give me your best, what you think is your best argument or evidence against veganism, and we can discuss it briefly here. I'm not going to let you monopolize our whole time here, but just lock in. Just give me one, because what you're doing right now is throwing poop on the wall. And if we look at, we look at the rules for how my live stream is conducted here. Let's go. You're so far. I think you're being okay. You're being civil. I don't think you're spamming or trolling. But rule number 3, I'm very specific here. When trying to debunk veganism, I will discuss only one of your claims at a time. Don't keep bringing up new ones, like pivoting if the old line of reasoning or discussion isn't going the way you wanted it to or hoped it would go. Don't throw poop on the walls and find something to stick. So just give me your best argument. So ask me again. What's your most important one? I see you talking about eating nuts and shit. Like, just give me, I don't know which one you said this is just paste it again down here. I can't do your work for you. So just give it to me. Help me out here. I'm running a live stream and you're not, so you have the time and energy to just paste your best one, the best poop that you threw up on there that you think disproves veganism or whatever you think it proves. And I'll have a look at it. I'll give it an honest look. Okay. Does that sound like a good deal for you? Baja? You said vegans couldn't grow muscle, grow muscle on their bodies, and you know. Well, first of all, I don't believe in God, so you're going to have to prove to me the existence of God, and I think that's beyond the scope of this live stream. But just because God made something, why does it follow that humans should eat them? You know, God made lots of things that we shouldn't eat. He made poisonous plants that we shouldn't eat. He made rocks which we shouldn't eat. You know, he made all sorts of stuff that we shouldn't eat. He made seawater which we shouldn't be drinking. So I don't think that's a good argument. Yeah, first, it just has too much metaphysical baggage. You have to prove God. But let's assume God does exist, as you believe he or she does. It still doesn't prove anything. Just because God makes something doesn't mean that it was meant for humans to eat. God made the planet Mars. Should we be eating the planet Mars? You know, I mean, I don't understand what the line of reasoning for that is. God made it, therefore humans eat it. That is not an argument held by anyone I've ever heard before. Yeah, but who cares if God made them? And then if God made them, it still doesn't mean anything. So I noticed you're not even engaging with what I said. You're saying you're giving an argument from incredulity. I can't pronounce it right now. Incredulity. You're saying, well, how can you live life? Well, I'm Buddhist. You know, so I'm cool. I don't need your religion to make my life work. I'm doing fine as a Buddhist. I should ask you, how can you live life without Buddha in your life? You must have a horrible life, you know? You're going to be reincarnating forever. You're just trapped in your own sorrow. You're being deceived by Mara 24/7, you know? So don't give me your religious baggage as to why I can't live my life. I'm living my life just fine with my Buddhism. I could, So anyway, if you want to address the substance of what I said rather than attack me for not sharing the same worldview and God as you have, that's better. But this is not a place to to impose your religion onto all other human beings, because that's not cool here. So you want to try again, Baha? Don't give me that you're incredulous, that I'm not a believer of your faith. In heaven, there is no depression and sadness. It's constant eternal happiness. Great. That still doesn't answer the question of vegan. Again, this has nothing. You're not answering the question about what we just said here about what were you asking again? God made all things. I said, let's assume God exists. So you're ignoring what I said. I'm going to give you God. I'm going to be extremely charitable to you. I'm going to say, let's assume for a moment that the God that you believe in so strongly and passionately about does indeed exist. Okay, totally cool. I'm not knocking your religion at all. Let's just say God exists. Handle, okay? Then now stop fucking around and saying, oh, heaven's a great movie. Let's say heaven is awesome. Bliss, no depression. It's the greatest thing in the universe. So anyway, why does that mean that if God made something, humans should eat it? Explain to me why I should be eating the planet Mars. Explain to me why I should be eating tar. Explain to me why I should be eating like rhinoceros shit. Explain to me why I should be eating things that God made. You still have not addressed how your argument entails all these absurd things. That's the most important thing. Don't gaslight me about how awesome heaven is, okay? I'm sure heaven's totally awesome. I'm not saying heaven sucks or anything, the concept of how it's described, but let's address the substance of what we're talking about here instead of pivoting to bullshit. Yeah, VLAN, there we go. There's one way to look at it too. So God makes a sentient being just so another sentient being can abuse and exploit them. That makes a lot of sense. That sounds like moral perfection and justice, right? Rhinoceros shit, right, AJ? God made rhinoceros shit, right? God, you're trolling. Is this guy trolling? He's not engaging with me. God told you to eat cows and sheep and stay away from pigs. He told you how to live. He didn't leave you clueless like that. Again, I'm not denying what God said, but you gave me your argument. You said your best argument for why veganism sucks. Should I put it up on the poop wall? I'm going to go to try to find it. I don't know if I can find it right now. Shoot. You said the argument was that I can't find it. I should have put it up on the poop wall. Okay. Okay, he has a green bee. A green bee. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, he said why animals exist and why God made them. Okay, I'll just put what you said up here on the poop wall, and you could try to expand on this. Okay, so here you go. Congratulations. Oops.
I'm going to leave your words on this board for all my classes to enjoy, giving you full credit, of course.
All right, let's go put this on the poop wall. All right, so here are your words for everyone to see. So this is what you told me. So let's not talk about how heaven's an awesome place or, some religious doctrine or something like that. I want to hear your argument. I'm not here to do theology or whatever. I'm here to discuss the philosophical argument that I see here. Is this your argument here? You said this is what you want to talk about, why animals exist and why God made them. I'm trying to. I know you're trying to justify eating meat. So, but I'm extrapolating from this. You have some kind of argument that if God makes something, it brings something into existence, that means humans ought to eat it if they want. Is that your argument? Yeah, yay for the poop ball. It's been a little while. So let's see if I don't want to mischaracterize your argument. I don't want to straw man your position. I'm entering into this dialectic in extreme good faith, but I can't make sense of something that I don't fully understand. That's your job. It's your job to speak clearly, type clearly, instead of leaving it vague and ambiguous and forcing others like myself to try to guess at what the intent of your poorly chosen wording is here. So let's give it. Okay, I understand people use cows for food and leather. I get it, and animals to travel. Okay, I understand, but I understand how this argument works out. You're saying if God makes something, then humans ought to exploit it. Is that your argument? Is that what you're trying to say? And if so, why?
Thanks for the tip.
Hey, Carmichael, thanks for the tip. Thou shalt not kill does not specify only humans. Yeah, you're right, huh? I'm not a biblical scholar by any stretch, but I don't remember it saying, thou shalt not kill humans. He made animals for us to survive in his life. Okay, great point. Let me put your words, let me add some more words back to the poop wall here. Because you're talking about survival now, and that's a whole different concept than what I think you're trying to get at here. So let's put you up on here.
I'm going to leave your words on this board for all my classes to enjoy, giving you full credit, of course.
All right, let's add your second statement here. All right, so you're talking about surviving. So your assumption is that I need to have animals in order to survive, and that's why God put them. Or let's just talk about the whole survival question, because you have an assumption there that yes, animals are necessary for. I need to exploit animals in order to survive. Well, I've been vegan since 2010. I have more than survived the past 16 years. So explain to me how. Once again, I'm kind of missing it. How I need animals to be exploited in order for me to survive, because that's why I went vegan in the first place. When I figured out, like, wow, I don't have to eat animals. I don't have to have animals killed for me in order to survive. That's the exact word I used when I had the big moment of clarity when I went vegan. So explain to me again how animals need to be killed in order for me to survive, because you need to debunk my whole existence. So let's see what you're saying here. How is it possible I'm still alive and I haven't died yet or anything like that? So I could have gotten hit by a bus or something like that, but please explain to me how I've been surviving without this thing that is needed to survive. Yeah, Uncle, plenty of people have survived without exploiting animals. Yeah, and Mommy Tang eating meat and stuff has nothing to do with surviving or anything like that. How can we survive winter? Well, you're not answering my question. You're pivoting. See what you're doing? Yo, I'm sorry. You're throwing poop on my wall. I told you before, when bringing up trying to debunk vegan type question, you just bring one point. You're pivoting. I said you're not liking how this line of reasoning is going, so you're pivoting to something else. Like, I'm just asking you. You brought up survival. I didn't. Those are your words. That's why I invented the poop wall, so you can be held responsible for what you said and not try to pretend you didn't say it and move on to something else. Answer the question. You said meat and animals are necessary for survival. I have not exploited, I don't use fur, leather, I don't have animals killed for me to eat, but yet I have somehow magically and mysteriously survived. So can you explain to me, once again, how animals are essential, necessary for human survival? All people. Please explain this to me. Yeah, survival. Let's speak survival. Yeah, let's talk about survival. I have survived since 2010 as a vegan. No fur, no leather, no animal products. So please explain to me how I did something that God said couldn't be done or something like that, or at least something that you said couldn't be done. You're not answering the question. If you're not answering the question, I'm going to boot your ass off of here. I'm not going to let you derail the live stream. So are you going to play by the rules here? I showed you the rules before we started this line of reasoning. I showed you the Livestream Rules. When trying to debunk veganism, you get to ask one question and defend the F out of it. Don't pivot to other things. Don't throw poop on my wall. How do you explain the fact that I have been more than survived, been thriving. I played basketball with a bunch of guys who are probably like 20 today, you know? So explain to me how I have survived for 16 years without any animal products. Like, how long does it take for me to not survive without any meat? So I'm going to wait for your answer. And if I see anything other than addressing it, you're out of here. Oh, you're not answering the question. You said, yeah, there's nutrient in meats. I get it. I know eating meat is not like eating rocks or something. There's nutrients. There's vitamins, minerals, shit like that. You know, carbs, fat, protein. Yeah, I get it. And so do plants. So, but you said meat is essential for survival. So one last time before we put you in timeout, explain, like, so here's what I'm trying to, I don't think you realize what kind of problem you've backed yourself into, Baha. If what you're saying is true, and let's assume what you're saying is true here, even though I know it's full of shit. But anyway, let's assume what you're saying here is true. Okay, if it were true, you would expect to not find people who are surviving without animal products. As you said here, we need them to survive. So how do you explain that fact that me and so many other hearers are not dead? We're surviving and even thriving. Baha, I'm gonna put you in timeout if you don't answer the question. I don't have time to play this dumb game where you pivot and just try to distract, deflect, move on. No, I'm not gonna let you pivot. I'm gonna hold you accountable for what you said here. You brought this to my live stream. I didn't bring this to your live stream. So tell me, how do you explain the fact that if what you said here is true, how do you explain the fact that, you know, we're seeing people in the world who are surviving just fine without animal products? So I'm just saying, this is an untrue assertion here that you need animal products in order to survive. What you could do, Baha, is say, okay, you're right, Ryan. You've shown my argument or my assertion here to be incorrect. I assume you're a dude. Just suck it up like a man and admit that you were wrong. And I'm not saying it's bad to be wrong. I'm wrong very often in life. And you just be a man and admit that, acknowledge that what you said here was not properly thought out. I have a huge advantage because I've been thinking about this stuff for ages, okay? You're probably new to trying to debunk veganism. You probably haven't thought through what you're saying. You're just knee-jerk reacting here. You're just thinking without, we're speaking without thinking. So acknowledge that what you said is wrong. Hey, CA Garden, thank you for the super chat tip there. Let's see what Baha said. Okay, one last time, Baha, you're not answering the question. You just said there's nutrients in food, and I acknowledge that. I agree that there are nutrients in food. Eating meat, there's nutrients in meat. It's not like eating a rock or something where you just might get a mineral and nothing else. So I agree with you. So we're not debating if there's nutrients in food. We're debating how this statement here holds up despite we're seeing so many people like myself who are surviving just fine. Carl says to him, if that mattered, then Ryan would be dead or nearly dead by now, and so would Carl too. Baha says, ask anyway, who studies biology or any doctor, he's going to tell you those are low in nutritional value. Well, first of all, you're a sexist there to say a doctor is a he, to assume a doctor must be a he. So, okay, you want to get to the science now. You want to see what like experts in nutrition and epidemiology say, who've actually looked at the research rather than just taking the opinion of a random he doctor. Let's actually take a look at what like nutritional organizations, not just like single dudes. Like I could find any one person to back up anything I want them to say, but if you find an organization, like a group, like say the Dietitians of Canada, British National Health Service, British Nutrition Foundation, Dietitians Association of Australia, Mayo Clinic, Heart and Stroke Foundation of Canada, they're all saying the same thing. Their experts have reviewed the literature into plant-based diets and are they healthy or not for people? And there's consensus from around the world that a well-planned vegan diet provides the nutrients you need. So what do you have to say about that? You just have this random he doctor, sexist he doctor, ask any doctor. Well, I actually have a he doctor myself personally, and my doctor is completely fine with me being vegan. In fact, I've had several doctors, 1, 2, 3 doctors in the past like decade who I've worked with. No, 4 doctors I've worked with. All knew I was vegan, saw my blood labs. Not one of them said, hey, dude, bro, you got to stop this vegan thing because your labs you're going to die. Look here, you're deficient in all this crap here, dude. No, nothing. My labs are good. In fact, I have playlists here on my YouTube channel. Just look for it on my homepage of my blood labs. So what you're saying here, once again, is not supported by the evidence. You're just talking without thinking, which is, again, making me think that you are not who you claim to be. I think you're trolling us. John Carr, you were like Baja a few years ago. Okay, so it's real, huh? It's a life learning experience. Baja, am I surviving or perfect? I don't think any human is perfect, but no, I don't have low iron. And I can tell you what my iron levels are. Let me see if I can find my last iron test from, I think it was it in January, February, or March? Let me see if I could find it here really quick for you. I showed it in a video. I showed it in a video, but it wasn't a blood test video. I just showed it to show that my iron is not low. Why would you think my iron would be low? That's just a false assumption. Vegans don't statistically have lower, like more deficiency rates and being anemic or anything. Okay, I'm trying to fire up my app here. So 1 second. It's being really slow. Okay, cool. You log in. And let's see if I can find my iron test for you. Test results. Okay, here's my test results from April of this year. Okay, I'm going to show personal medical information here. Okay, guys. So I'm going to hide my doctor's name here. So yeah, here we go. If you can see it. Ooh, I'm not sure if it's showing up. Can you? I think I have something turned on. Is it showing up all kind of blurry? Crap. I don't want to. Okay. Yeah, shoot. Is it kind of zebraing? It's because I have a cinema camera here, and I have a button that does that. It's called Zebra, and I forgot which button it is to turn it off, and I don't want to like start hitting buttons randomly in the middle of a live stream. So you're gonna have to take my word for it. I'll figure out how to turn it off for next week. But my iron is 96. The reference range is 50 to 180. Let's see, were you guys seeing zebras too? Yeah, it's showing up as white lines. See, I'm not trying to obscure it, but yeah, if it's showing up as white lines because that means in photography that this is overexposed. And I forgot what button it is up there. Again, just forgive me. I'm not a genius with the camera. But anyway, iron reference range is 50 to 180. It's 96. It's healthy iron range. IBC, that's part of the panel. The reference range is 250 to 425. 401. Iron saturation, again, in the green, 24. And it's actually usually higher than that. It's usually in the 30s, but I had a, what's that called? An infection a few months before that. What's that called? Urinary tract infection, which dropped. I had a blood test right when I had that happen, and yeah, my iron saturation was low, and it's been going back up ever since then. But it's usually higher than that. But no, I'm not even after a UTI, all the numbers are in the green. So what do you think about that? Not deficient in iron. And I wish I remember what video where I actually shared this result without the zebras lines on the screen. Yeah, I feel so stupid. I feel like some like my mom using the technology here. I forgot what button it is. But I'll fix that now that I know. I guess I haven't shown my camera any overexposed images. But I remember I was doing something, I think on my last, when I was making my Mommy Tangler video, I hit a wrong button and it went beyond zebra. I was getting all these trippy colors that show exposure. I forgot what that's called if you guys are photography experts. It's like, it's like this weird color scheme where you can tell exposures. My camera does that and I go, oh crap, how do I turn that off? Okay, so now you're saying look at CBC and other. I'm just telling you, my iron is good. CBC, what is CBC? Is that a test I can show you? Like, look, what, dude? Just go watch my blood. I can't believe I have to go and spoon feed everything for you. I have to run a live stream and do all the work. So let me just go to my YouTube channel and I will find you the playlist because you're obviously not going to click it because you just rather sit here and try to complain about stuff. So let's go to playlists. And where is the blood test playlist? Here it is. Blood test. Let's see. Crap. How do you show all of them from the playlist? Crap. Why is it playing music? Stop it, YouTube. How do I click the 9 videos? Oh, here it is. View full playlist. Okay, here it is. I'm going to give you the URL, and you can watch the many blood test videos I put up here. I don't know of any YouTuber that's put up this extensive amount of blood tests. So let me put it here for you.
Thanks for the tip.
Oh, I got a tip. So Blaha, instead of like forcing me to like find everything for you on the fly here, watch the blood test playlist and you can see if I'm deficient and crap like that. Okay. So, and who gave me the super chat? There, Carmichael. Oat latte fun. And your dog says hi. Don't get stressed. Well, thank you. Thank you so much there. Thanks, Carmichael. Much appreciated. Okay, I'm gonna watch them. Mark my word. I'm terrified right now. Mark my word. Yeah, watch my blood test. And I'm not saying my blood tests are perfect, but you got to keep in mind, like, I've made these while I'm older in life. I started the channel in my late 40s, and you have blood tests of me in my 50s, and you got to put it in perspective. I go to the doctor frequently for blood tests, and I go over the blood tests with them. They'll write me back if something's not cool. They're telling me I'm healthy. I'm healthier than most people that walk in, even half my age. Pretty much everyone they're always amazed when they say, list your medications. I go, I'm not on medications. They look at me like I'm insane. Like, what, you're like in your late 50s, you're not on any meds? I go, no, I'm not, And they say like most people half my age are on meds. Most people half my age come in with high hemoglobin A1C, a marker for diabetes. And no, mine's hasn't really budged at all the whole time. So yeah, my doctors say, yeah, you're doing really, really good. So put in perspective, I'm not saying to have perfect blood tests, but I don't think that's really the goal, is to have perfect blood. I mean, that's a goal, but that's not the only way to be healthy. I mean, compared to the vast amount of patients they see, they put in perspective, they say, dude, whatever you're doing is working. So, it's no need to stop like eating plants and eating meat. Bob, there are more than 2 vegan foods. Well, he said there's 2 vegan foods, Nikki? Like, what's he talking about? He's just trolling us at this point. So, Baha, thanks for coming. Go watch my blood test videos, and I'm going to lose a lot of sleep tonight knowing you're going to watch them and see, like, you're going to watch this dude in his, when I was in my late 40s and now in my late 50s, doing pretty good in life. So, yeah, I'm not too frightened about that. Moonrise, what'd you say to him? You're not triggered, but you have a bad argument to defend a terrible thing. Yeah, God made it, therefore eat it, right? That's pretty much what he said. If God made it, hey, eat it, Great. You have 2 dogs next to you, awesome, but it's a contradiction that meat eaters often have. They love, it's like they're choosy about which animals they feel compassion towards. But when you get down to it, veganism isn't truly about compassion in the way, like, say, Buddhism is or something like that. Veganism is more, oops, I was about to make a nice point there and I was on the wrong screen there. Veganism is more about morality than having love or compassion for your animals that you're close to. It's about being against animal cruelty and exploitation, not just against animal cruelty to the animals that you live with or your friends live with or whatever, against all animals. That's the thing that separates vegans from people who say, I love my dogs. Great. I'm glad you don't hate your dogs. That's awesome. You'd be a real terrible person if you hated your dogs. But we don't look at animals as food. We don't look at animals as objects to be exploited for human benefit, because you don't need to do that, because you're taking an inherently morally worthy being, an animal, and taking its inherent moral worth away by exploiting it. You wouldn't want to be exploited. You wouldn't want to be slaughtered so someone could eat you. Same with animals. They're moral agents just like we are, with inherent moral worth. Just like your dogs. You wouldn't want someone to eat your dogs, right? It's the same kind of thing. They have inherent moral worth. They have rights. They shouldn't have their rights exploited just so for some human to exploit them for their own shits and giggles or to eat them or something like that. Same kind of reasoning there. I'm just trying to give you the logic or the psychology of how that works there, Baha. Or whatever your name was. Well, you know, your religious argument still hasn't showed me anything. All you said is God made something and therefore eat it. Well, I didn't even make you prove the existence of God or anything like that. And we're not going to do that. That's not what this show is. You want to watch other like YouTubers that talk about like disproving God. There's plenty of them out there. That's not my channel here though. But you know, I've said first you'd have to establish beyond any shadow of a doubt that God exists, and God made some kind of proclamation about how we should be eating animals. Because all you gave me is God made it, therefore human eat it. That's not a valid argument. It doesn't hold any water is what I'm trying to say. It might be a valid form. If God made it, then we should eat it. No, it's not even, it's just an if then, if P then Q. Yeah, I guess that's a valid inference form, but still, it's not an argument that holds any water because it leads to absurd conclusions. God made Mars, therefore we should eat Mars. So thanks for coming, Baha. We've spent enough time with you, and I'm just going to time you out in a really kind, compassionate way. Time you out for 24 hours, meaning you can't come back today, but you're more than welcome to come back next week, Baha, if you have another argument or example to share with us, but I don't want you to monopolize the entire live stream tonight. So I'm no hard feelings, I'm not punishing you, but I just simply need to move on. Carl, talking to Baha, humility it's just a virtue. A Christian virtue is just a virtue. Yeah, mentioned all throughout the Bible. Maybe, Baha, start by acknowledging that you may not know the reason for everything, huh? What's that, D-Rabbit? I'm repeating my part 6 from earlier. Every word spins in pain. If there's any kind of supreme being, I told myself it's up to all of us to become his moral superior. Hey, Belfast Bob, thank you for the super chat tip. Much appreciated. I'm kind of glad Late Model isn't here tonight. She would have found that dude totally insufferable, right? Uncle told him, don't kill it. Yeah, you don't need to kill animals. And notice how he totally did not address the survival thing. Oops, where'd it go? Poop ball. He totally didn't address his argument here about how animals are necessary for survival. You saw him just try to pivot, wiggle out of it. I said, look, just acknowledge that you made a statement that you can't support and you're just trying to pivot, and I'm way too wise to see what you're trying to do here. So yeah, I mean, again, if what he said there were true, he made animals for us to survive, you wouldn't expect to find people like me and yourselves not dead from like not eating animals. What? Okay, synergy. What's going on there? You reject the premise because vegans always use these weak arguments to hold people in traps in a conversation, and it's ridiculous. So I politely reject the premise. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, your argument for eating animals is we're all made out of atoms, and in 1,000 years or 1 billion, no one will remember this. Okay, cool. I like your argument here. Let's put up here your nihilistic argument. So let's put synergy onto the poop ball. We're really using... I'm
going to leave your words on this board for all my classes
tonight,
to enjoy. Giving
yeah, we
you
haven't
full
had
credit,
anyone
of
on the
course.
poop ball for a few weeks, so this is kind of cool. Getting my money's worth for making this whole poop ball graphic and everything. So this is a really interesting moral position here, nihilism here. So you're saying basically there are no morals. This wouldn't apply to eating animals. You could apply this to anyone. Like, hey, I'm not advocating this. I don't want to get banned from YouTube, but I'm going to go like shoot up a whole orphanage or light it on fire and burn them all down because, hey, we're all atoms. In 1,000 years, the atoms will just be something else. No one's going to remember it anyway, right? You know, I'm gonna go on a mass shooting, you know, at a school or something like that. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, we're all atoms. The same saying. You're saying, hey, anything morally reprehensible, disgusting, it's cool because over time humans will be forgot about. We're just atoms. We're gonna, you know, it doesn't matter if you live to be 100 or, you know, you got burnt in the orphanage fire that Senator J set, you know, because he's a nihilist. Anything's cool. You can go grape any person you want because, you know, all the suffering you're going to put your victim through, it won't matter because your victim will be dead in 80 years anyway, and you will be too. Who will remember it? It'll all be forgotten, right? So this is the the moral, like, just absurdities you come to, or the lack of moral, right? You know, the lack of morality you get with a nihilistic position like this. You could justify anything. It's just nuke the entire planet. You know, just get it over with. You know, we're not going to be here anyway in 100 years. It's all good. You do anything you want. You know. Go out in the street and try to run over babies with your car. It's totally cool because, you know, who cares if the baby lives to be 100 or 8 months? Doesn't matter. You know, we're all going to be gone in 1,000 years. We're going to be gone in 1,000,000 years. No one's going to remember anything. So you can do anything you want. If you have this point of view, you can just just be the most horrible human that ever exists. So anyway, yeah, thanks for playing nihilism here. That was fun. What's that? Chief Hunter, Gatherer, Shaman. You like vegan hunters. They're the best. I wonder what Janus, Hunt, and Lila. I'm not sure what that comment means exactly. I know what Janus are. Synergy. I'm not saying if you're a nihilist, you're obligated to be a despicable, horrible, disgusting human every day. Just saying when you want to be, you're justified. So say you just want to like burn down orphanage once a year, or drive your car or truck over babies once every 5 to 10 years, you know, you're cool with that. You don't have to. I'm not saying you're obligated to be horrible every day. I'm just saying whenever you do a disgusting, horrible act where you violate people's rights and kill them and all that, you can just say, hey, yeah, nihilism, man, it's cool. Stoner 3972. What's the topic about today? Well, it's typically about veganism. So we had someone try to debunk veganism by saying nihilism. That's his theory up there, basically. It's not his theory, but it's one he claims he supports. But, you know, I'm saying you could use that to support all sorts of things, not just eating animals, but like running over babies in your car. You know, it doesn't matter. We're all gonna be gone in 1,000 years anyway. Hey, Peter, you missed some fun tonight. We've had 2 people on the poop wall. So, yeah, you've kind of missed a lively little night here. So, let me get us out of the poop wall here. So, yeah, so that's cool, Synergy. I don't want to talk about nihilism anymore. I think I've said all I need to about nihilism. And if you want to be a nihilist, if you think you need to be a nihilist to justify eating animals, no, just remember, just keep in mind that the same nihilism that you're using to justify eating animals can be justified to drive over babies in your car and grape women or whatever you want to grape, you know, or burn down an orphanage and mass shooting. It could justify any just horrible act like that, not just meat eating, just anything. So I think, yeah, just a complete breakdown of there being any morality if you subscribe to nihilism. You can justify anything you want. Carmichael, I remember Ralph Waters. I met him at a LA Veg Fest many years ago, maybe like 12 years ago or something like that. That was your first introduction from YouTube channel Infinite Waters. Yeah, AJ, it is kind of like a sovereign citizen thing. You guys have seen those videos on YouTube. They're the best. The sovereign citizen traffic stops. I'm not driving. I'm traveling. I'm not engaged in commerce. I'm just privately driving traveling in a car. The cops don't like that. But yeah, it's kind of like that. Where you're saying, AJ, it's like saying you're a sovereign citizen and expecting not going to jail for like murder or theft. Sovereign citizens expect they don't have to get arrested for not having a driver's license, car insurance, stuff like that, that everyone else has to have. Don't go to any veg fest. I haven't been to a veg fest. I don't even know if they have veg fest anymore. I just we were at Veggie Grill around Father's Day or something like that, and we ran into our friends who they're the ones who run it. They're the top. They're the ones who run the event, and they said they haven't ran the Orange County, the SoCal Veg Fest for a few years now. And I'm not sure what's up with LA Veg Fest. I haven't heard anything about that either. Not to say it's not happening. I just haven't heard anything about it. Okay, I didn't know if Ralph Smart was from California or not. I didn't really get into much of a conversation with him. I just remember meeting him briefly. I didn't even know who he was, just I learned about him later. Oh, that's the dude I was talking to, this Infinite Waters guy. But Stoner. Yeah, you don't need to be a vegan to hang. Just if you just want to learn a little bit about veganism, and we just talk about all sorts of interesting things too. I mean, we were just talking about nihilism a second ago. Okay, you want to debate? You want to discuss why eating chicken is very good in all. That's a huge word. You're using extreme language there. All. When you use words like all, always, never, none, it's really easy to disprove. So you might want to walk that back a little bit, because I'm going to just be able to probably respond a little too forcefully what you're saying here. We want to walk that back. But if you want to try to debunk veganism, just do it in a respectful way. And all I ask is a few little things. Oops, I'm sorry. That is the definition of veganism. Okay, so here are the basic rules for the live stream. I'm sure you're being civil. I have no problem with you. You seem like a chill dude or whatever. Assume you're a dude. And rule number 3, when trying to debunk veganism, which I think you're trying to do, I will just discuss only one of your claims at a time. Don't pivot to something else. Just give me your best example or argument there, and we'll have a look at it. Okay, I'll look at it in good faith and give you my honest opinion of how strong or weak of an argument that is. Okay. So now that we're on board with that, let me get rid of the stuff that Sinner J was saying here, so I can get ready for Stoner Dude here. Is that your name? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I thought that I remember your name was, but I probably messed it up. So my bad. I'm not trying to like make fun of you or anything like that. Stoner, you like vegan? Well, there's such thing as real vegan food. I mean, I eat plants. That's what vegans eat. We eat plants. Let me show you. I think a lot of people think vegan food means getting a Beyond Burger. No, people have been vegan for like 100 years almost. So they didn't have Beyond Burgers until 10 years ago or so. Let me just show you the first meal in the Happy Healthy Vegan Cookbook. I know you like vegan food because you probably eat a lot of this stuff already. You probably eat legumes like beans. You probably eat rice and tomatoes, has some kale mixed into and some spices, So everyone eats vegan food unless you're a carnivore, or you've been eating vegan food your whole life. It's just called plants. So now that we have that distinction out in the open here, we're all clear on that. Let's see what you got to say. And it's cool to be a stoner. I have nothing against stoners or anything like that. I smoke a little herb, from time to time to enhance a good time. Oh, you got to go, Peter? All right, cool. I'm glad you can come and hang with us. Hopefully, Uncle. Where can you get a copy of the cookbook? I'll show you where you can get a copy of that cookbook, Uncle. You can get it from... You can get it at... Let's see. No, that's the merch. I'm getting lost here. You can get it at shop.happyhealthyvegan.org. So good question there, Uncle. Let me copy that URL for people who don't want to type that in on their own. Our books. All right, so Carmichael, but can I touch upon how we might become more vegan? You're either vegan or you're not. You don't increase your veganness or anything like that. Okay, Stoner. Yeah, so that we're on the same page. Yeah, no eggs and dairy products. Yeah, vegetarians typically mean they don't eat meat, but they're kind of agnostic as to whether they have dairy, eggs, fish, stuff like that. But for vegans, let's look at the definition of veganism, make sure we're on the same page, because a lot of people don't really know what veganism means. Like, some people apparently have been vegan for 14 years, and they think veganism means losing a lot of weight, looking skinny like a teenager or something like that. So no, it's just having a stance against all forms of animal cruelty and exploitation. So obviously, yeah, slaughtering animals is obviously cruel and exploitative, but just even raising animals to produce dairy, because there's cruelty and exploitation and slaughter in those two. So yeah, vegans don't consume animal products. We consume plants and sometimes other things like fungi, like mushrooms and stuff like that. Okay, so now that we know exactly what we're talking about here, no, are you the same dude? You want to talk about nihilism? No, we already had our uncomfortable dose of nihilism for the day. I don't want to go down that path a second time, considering I don't think we've ever talked about nihilism in much detail ever before in like the 10 years I've been doing these live streams. So to do it twice in a night is just an overdose. No, so let's not talk about nihilism anymore. Not that I don't want to, but I already did. I don't want to bore everyone again. So if you have an argument that doesn't involve nihilism, I'm down. Moonrise, you're a vegan level 3? Well, that's better than being level 5,000. Magic shrooms? Yeah, you can eat psilocybin mushrooms if you want, if you're a vegan, right? As far as I know, there's no animal cruelty and exploitation involved in them. In fact, depends how they're grown. I mean, maybe if they're grown out in nature, maybe there's some animal pooping on it. I don't know, but is that exploitive if the animal just walked by and pooped on it? Probably not. But I'm saying, I've had friends, not myself, I've had friends grow psilocybin mushrooms before in their kitchens, like, and they didn't kill animals or use animal products from what I can tell. But if you have an argument or example, Stoner, we're waiting for you. If not, we're going to move on to other stuff here. Oh, wait, you were a vegetarian before you went vegan, AJ? I wasn't aware of that. When you were a vegetarian, you said people always asked you that, as well as, do you eat chicken? Like, is chicken a vegetable? Yeah, it's funny, huh? People ask you, like, so, yeah, like, I had a friend who went to France. This is a long time ago, maybe like 15, 20 years ago. I think things are better now. He went to Paris, so he said, yeah, vegetarian or whatever the word is. So they say, oh, So chicken, right? They thought vegetarian meant you don't eat cows or something like that. Like, no, do you understand vegetarian? It's all meat. So anyway, it's funny how, it's not a definition that people seem to grasp as far as what the diet entails, let alone the moral stuff. But anyway, okay, Stoner, are you trolling us? Chickens don't have consciousness and can't feel pain and happiness. Do you have any evidence for that, Stoner? I'm not even going to try to disprove that. I think you're just trying to troll me. So please, that's an empirical claim, meaning we don't have to debate this philosophically. We don't need, logical argumentation and metaphysics. That's an empirical claim, meaning we can just fact check that. So can you provide me your resource that concludes that chickens lack consciousness? Love to see that. Don't take the bait, Bob. Don't take the bait. Just going to wait for him or her, suspect it's a dude though, and see what kind of evidence, resource they have for that. And resource doesn't mean some shirtless guy ranting, making a YouTube video or TikTok. We're looking for like more like evidence-based information rather than opinions, because all we're getting from him is opinion right now. All right, so AJ's saying, right, I was only vegetarian because at the time I didn't understand that eggs and dairy come from suffering and death. Yeah, that's why I thought at first, when I first saw the Hare Krishnas back at the Grateful Dead concert in the early 90s, I was cool with being vegetarian. I had no idea too until later on when I went vegan, like before, just like the years leading up to veganism, how horrible eggs and dairy were as well. You thought, okay, as long as, I'm like you, I used to think as long as they're not slaughtering the animals, it's probably cool, right? No, it's not cool. They're killing animals just to make dairy. They have to impregnate cows. That's exploitation, like, forced impregnation. No one wants that, human or animal. And then to kill all pretty much the males that get born from being pregnant, because that's what happens when you're pregnant. They don't impregnate the cows to to make babies. They impregnate the cows for the milk, the lactation products. Anyway, let's see. Okay, Stoner, can you give me you're giving me opinion and thoughts of your own. Once again, please give me the name of a study or some kind of evidence-based resource that concludes that chickens do not have consciousness. Chickens lack consciousness. Let's just go look right now. Do chickens, or just say poultry, a larger class of animals. If I could spell poultry lack conscious, I can't spell crap. No, they do not lack consciousness. Okay, I took your bait. Scientific research shows that chickens and other birds possess sentience, emotional capacity, and complex cognitive skills. In fact, I showed a video of a bird working out a puzzle that it had to solve in order to get its food or something like that. So do you have anything that shows that the studies I've seen about birds solving puzzles is bullshit, that this result here is complete this gibberish, something like that? I'd love to see what you have to say to that. So again, you pontificated and gave me your own thoughts, but can you give me some evidence-based information? I think the person is trolling us. So Stoner, you gotta step up here. If you don't act quickly and follow up with what I requested, I'm gonna time you out and we're gonna move on, because I don't want to spend time with people who are just trolling us. I assume you probably are. I'm getting the vibe of that. Okay, so you're backtracking. You're saying you actually don't have any studies. You cannot find any good information that contradicts what I have up here. Is that correct? Okay, so Moonrise is trying to understand Stoner's argument. So if I'm understanding your argument, is that chickens are I don't know what that word is. They have a nervous system and they can respond to stimuli, but they aren't sentient. Okay, if you're not trolling, cool. It's just such a preposterous thing to say. It's hard for me to believe that someone is saying this sincerely, in good faith, that they're arguing that chickens lack consciousness, despite the fact that scientific research shows that chickens and other birds possess sentience, emotional capacity, and complex cognitive abilities. But yet you're still holding on to the position that chickens are like robots and don't have this stuff. So I'm trying to ask you one last time, do you have any evidence that contradicts this? Yes or no? And if it's a yes, just show it to me. Politely. I'm asking politely. Moonrise, are you sure you're not mixing up oysters with chickens, right? Huh? Okay, Stoner, you're just spouting a bunch of nonsense. Yes or no? Just let's do it easy. Yes or no, Stoner. I want to see one of two words. Yes, meaning you have information that contradicts this, or no, meaning no, you don't have information that contradicts this. So just give me a yes or no. That's all I want to see from you right now. Okay, I don't want to see any talk about receptors and crap like that. Just give me a yes that you have information that contradicts this. Yeah, Carl, even when you're a meat eater, even when I was a meat eater, you knew that animals feel pain. Okay, thank you, Stoner, for being honest and acknowledging that you do not have a source that contradicts what we're talking about here, that animals, birds, poultry have complex cognitive abilities. They are sentient. We possess sentience. Humans possess sentience. Humans have complex cognitive abilities. Are our cognitive abilities more developed and complicated than chickens? Yeah, sure. But it doesn't mean they're lacking consciousness. Doesn't mean they're not sentient. And how does he know that they don't have emotions? It says right here, poultry and other birds have emotional capacity. So again, if he just said he doesn't have any information to contradict that. So maybe he said that earlier. We'll give him a break there, AJ. But yeah, he doesn't have information to contradict it. So all right, so I want to tell you, Stoner. Well, thank you for coming, and you can come back next week. I'm not gonna like keep engaging this, So come back next time. You're a nice person. So you're friendly, and feel free to come back next week, because I only have a half hour left in this live stream. We've already dealt with 2 people or it was 2 or 3 people trying to debunk veganism tonight, and I usually set time aside for like 1, 2 tops, but I don't have time for another one tonight. So you can come back next week and try your best. Does that sound like a good plan for you, Stoner? And it gives you a whole week to search Google and try to find something that contradicts what I have up here on the screen for you. And all right. All right, someone just thinks he can come here and say, meat is delicious. All right, so you know what we do to people like that? All right. Meat is delicious. Like, that's some kind of argument for your point of view. It just shows you you're stupid. Not you, Stoner, the guy I just timed out there. Oh man, Carmichael, your dog has control over your computer. It's like an AI agent taking over your computer or mobile device. Well, I thank your dog for hitting all the right buttons there, Carmichael. It sounds like your dog possesses a very high degree of sentience and very complex cognitive abilities. So thank you. Uncle, Ryan 2, Trolls 0. Thank you, Uncle. I don't think I'm doing anything all that special. I'm just trying to see what their argument is, get it up on the screen if we have to on the poop wall, and then take a look at it and see if it holds any water. Yeah, just simple critical thinking. So, yeah, Travis, yeah, vegan meat is delicious too, All right, I'm going to get rid of the last comment from Stoner there. I don't want to really see how chickens are slaughtered. So, anyway, thank you, Uncle. I try to, it's hard to self-evaluate, right? But I think I'm fair, right? I let them present I tell them, give me your best argument or evidence. I don't have time for like 5 or even 2. Just give me your best one. Just put it out there and we'll have a look-see at it. And I'll look at it in the best faith I possibly can. Okay, Stoner, you can stay. I'm not kicking you off. I just wanted to get rid of the last comment, how you're talking about how chickens get their throat slit. Don't want to hear anything about that here. Uh-oh, Wicked Agenda's here. Uh-oh, our favorite troll is here, Wicked Agenda. You guys have never seen a cowboy. You guys know this is Carmichael, okay? I just want to out him right now. We don't need any more Carmichael. We've had enough tonight. You could bring Wicked Agenda back on a more quiet, more peaceful night. But tonight, I think we're good. I think we've had our fill, right? Let's move on. Come back, Carmichael. We don't need, Wicked Agenda tonight. He can come back. You can come back in your alter ego next week, maybe, if we need such a thing. What's up, Belfast Bob? Hutchie. And I help out Rescue Center, chickens. And they all have different personalities. They're great. Yeah. I've met chickens, turkeys at rescues, and they have a lot of personality. Maybe the ones you see don't. I'm not sure where you're going, but yeah, if you get to find one in a calm, peaceful environment where they don't feel threatened or not being exploited, you can see them develop personalities. Stoner, nope, we're not going to talk about nihilism. Are you the same guy, Synergy, that I kicked off earlier? We're not going to talk about nihilism anymore. That's it. I don't think I ever talked about it on live stream before. Definitely not twice on the same night. I don't see how we're going to get anywhere with it. Are you trolling? All right, Wicked Agenda. See you some other week. Bring Carmichael back. Yeah, it's been lit, huh, Heidi? It's your shirt, huh? Somehow this shirt brought him on tonight or something, huh? Carl says every farmer who raises chickens knows that they have their own personalities. What's up, Moonrise? You're of the opinion that the universe itself exists on a nihilistic foundation, that meaning, value, purpose are not inherent or given, but I think they are discovered. You're hard deterministic. Cool, you can talk to Stoner about that. I'm not going down that path anymore tonight. I'm more of a deontologist, like, Immanuel Kant, Alan Gurwith kind of view of morality. What's that, Chief Hunter? Animals could ask for cybernetic upgrades and have a conversation with us later in the day if we had enough resources. Yeah, I bet you so. If we could have like the universal translator, like in Star Trek, somehow work with animals, convert their thoughts into language. It'd be amazing. And in fact, it already happens. Like, you've probably seen the videos where, God, what was it? Chimpanzees or some kind of primate, ape, they're taught universal sign language, sign language, and they're able to communicate with, humans via sign language. So it's already kind of happening. So, well, sure, D-Rabbit. Why, yeah, we can learn a lot from animals, like try to infer their intentions and thoughts and feelings by observation. 100% agree. But, wouldn't it be awesome, though, to actually communicate in a more, like, language-y sort of way where you have more precise meaning and stuff? Yeah, Carl, pigs could talk. I'm sure that'd be a fun conversation. Huh? What, Carmichael? Ryan, am I going to be up all night for having a big bowl of air fryer potatoes at 10 p.m.? Well, what time do you normally go to bed at, Carmichael? Because I try to cut off my nighttime eating around by 10 o'clock or so. Especially if it's a big portion. I'd like to have that more like 9. But I go to bed more like midnight, 12:30 nowadays. But yeah, do what works for you. Hey, Elaine, I'm doing your laundry. Leonard, Ryan, grateful your life is keeping you distracted from the task at hand. Awesome. Yeah, all I can do is listen. I guarantee you, if you're not watching the screen much, I'm not doing anything all that exciting. Occasionally, I'll point to the definition of veganism or put some anti-vegans argument or example or words up on the poop wall for all us to hold that person accountable for, but yeah, you're not missing a whole bunch. Uncle, are Bodhi and Jojo happy? Yeah, I think so. They seem like happy old little cute senior cats. Let's see, Carmichael, you go to bed after the stream on Fridays, so about 11:20. You feel super weird right now. Huh, well, yeah, it's kind of late. If you go to bed, if you eat a big meal at 10 and go to bed 11:20, at least for me, I don't like that. I mean, it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt me from falling asleep, but I notice like in the middle of the night, I kind of wake up and my stomach just feels wrong. I think you shouldn't be laying down for hours like that digesting. Is my primitive guess here. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. AJ, wow, you go to bed anywhere from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Wow. What time do you get up at? Or are you like Uncle? Because I remember Uncle said he has trouble sleeping extended periods of time, right? Uncle, he said just like sleep a little here, a little there. It kind of all adds up throughout the day. Mark says, your daughter is Buddhist. It's a beautiful religion. Well, thank you. I think Buddhism is a very beautiful religion, too. I was just rewatching for maybe the third or fourth or fifth time, The Little Buddha. I was telling some of my favorite movies from the 90s. Keanu Reeves, he's the young Buddha. And it just really dawned on me how beautiful Buddhism is. That movie does an excellent job. It was filmed by the director was a very famous Italian cinematographer, Bertolucci, I think his name is, like famous for like movies from the 70s and 80s. Anyway, he did a really good job, and it just showed me the portrayed the true beauty of Buddhism, and also there's a other side of the coin kind of thing, the sadness of Buddhism too, because it talks about impermanence. We're all not going to be here, so there's a beautiful sadness to Buddhism, and I realized, wow, that's my music. My art is beautiful sadness. That's the thing. That's my wheelhouse. I go, wow, I wonder if I got that from Buddhism somehow. At least the way I perceive Buddhism as being a beautiful sadness. Maybe it's just how I look at the world, and I see beautiful sadness in a lot of things. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that insight with you. Oh, you like that movie, Belfast Bob? It's for me like one of my top 10 all-time favorite movies. I like cry when I see that scene where Keanu Reeves, the young Siddhartha, sits under the Bodhi tree and fights off all the demons that Mara sends to him to prevent him from achieving enlightenment. It's so beautiful. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing how they did it with 90s computer technology as well. But I know a lot of early Pixar movies look pretty fantastic for its time too. So I guess it's not that surprising. But anyway, yeah, I love that scene. Keanu Reeves is known for The Matrix and John Wicker or whatever. The guy shoots people because they messed with his dog, and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, countless others. I think Little Buddha is his best role. He's just amazing. Just looks amazing. The vibe he puts out. His posture and meditation. I'm pointing out to Angie, look at that posture he's got. I want to see it behind the scenes, the making of Little Buddha. How long did he train to get that kind of the meditation posture? It's just outrageous, off the charts. But anyway, yeah, watch it with your daughter. Yeah, check it out too, Heidi. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't think you have a bad time with it. Like I said, if you're open to Eastern religion, the movie's not meant to convert you. I know people actually who are both Buddhists and Christians. There's nothing incompatible in the way I see it. But anyway, my point is, it's just a cool movie. If you want to check out some more Eastern religion things, yeah, Little Buddha, and it's really, it's really built for the Western audience. It's most of it's filmed in the United States. Most of the actors are American actors. So anyway, Devil's Advocate, another Keanu. That's the lawyer one, right? He's been in so many good movies. I think the Little Buddha is the best. Actually, I want to share. I had my first vegan dream last night. It's kind of vegan dream. I was I somehow had a chicken in my arm. Speaking of chickens, people say that chickens lack consciousness. I was carrying this chicken, protecting. I was out in a neighborhood, a suburban street or cul-de-sac or something like that, carrying this chicken. There's maybe houses from the 80s or 90s or something like that all around me, and somehow, I don't know how, the chicken somehow was able to impart the idea into me. I don't know if I heard it or something. It was concerned about cats. He said, yeah, cats will come and try to claw them and scratch them and stuff like that. And sure enough, a few seconds later, I saw some cats try to jump on me to scratch the chicken. And whoa, he was right. This is crazy. So I was trying to get the chicken to safety or something like that. And I think Angie woke me up. I think she had a nightmare right there or something and woke me up, so I didn't get to complete the dream. I go, whoa, was I having a vegan dream there trying to protect this chicken? So anyway, thought I'd mention that. Nikki, you going? All right, thanks for being with us. Nikki, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Yeah, I'm not too good at remembering dreams, Uncle, but the best time to remember a dream actually is right after it happens. If you just wake up and start your day, you'll probably not remember your dreams. But if you when you wake up, just kind of lay in bed for a bit and try to reflect, what was I just dreaming about? Often they'll come back. And if you got woke like me, I was in the middle of this deep REM dream or something like that, and Angie said something in a nightmare. That's what woke me up. So of course I'm gonna remember the dream because I was right in it right then. But yeah, if you just get up and start your day, you'll probably forget. It's it's kind of almost like a skill to sharpen dream recollection. And I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm probably not that good at it anymore. It's probably much better when I was younger. Wait, is Moonrise Disco trying to debunk veganism? What? Or Stoner? Oh, Stoner, you're describing, have you ever heard of Pascal's wager? I'm going to read what Stoner said. He said in 2025, he started believing in God and bowing down and praying to him just to stay on the safer side, just in case God exists. That's just look up Pascal's wager. It's an argument that I think it was a medieval philosopher 1,000 years ago put out there. His argument for believing in God was it's just kind of safer to believe in God. It's if God exists and you believe in him, cool, you go to heaven. And if God exists and you don't believe him, then you're kind of screwed. So just you know, make a safer bet. You know, that's why they call it Pascal's wager. It doesn't really argue for the existence of God. It's an argument for the practical bet of believing in God, but it doesn't prove God or anything like that. But yeah, look up Pascal's wager. You're describing it to a T there. What was that, Heidi? You dreamed a few weeks ago that you were flying over the ocean and your body fell, but your spirit keep flying. Whoa, that's pretty heavy. Not that you fell heavy, but no, that's a heavy dream there. Separating body and spirit. Wow. Yeah, Belfast. If you see pictures of Keanu meeting his fans, particularly female fans, you know, he doesn't touch them or put his arm around them. He's just totally cool and chill. He seems like a really cool dude, you know? I would hang with Keanu Reeves if I could. Okay, so you are worship or believe in God. You do believe in God, Stoner, because of Pascal's wager. Yeah, man, because on the sculpture it says eternal hell for atheism, which frightens you. Let me just ask you this question. So you believe in an eternal hell for people like me that don't believe in God. So this will ask you a question. Is God infinitely just? Is he like a perfection of justice? Like, you know, is just in all ways, you know, and justice means like, you know, justice kind of can be defined as like, you know, appropriate punishments or consequences given, you know, an action. Like an action gets a proportional kind of punishment, you know? Do you believe? I'm just kind of curious what do you think about that? Yes, I'm still with Angie. Thanks for asking. Hey, people. Thanks for joining. Kind of in the late part of the live stream. Oh, my Telecaster pickguard back there. Yeah, it's known as like a paisley patterned pickguard. It's actually a gift from Angie a long time ago. When I had a different Telecaster, actually, I put that pickguard on. Then I built this one basically, and I kept the pickguard because of the sentimental value. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably have a whole different kind of pickguard, but my wife gave it to me and it's cool looking. So anyway, okay, so Stoner, it sounds like you do believe that God is perfectly just. And, you know, again, justice can be defined as, you know, the appropriate consequences for an action. So let me ask you this. Can a human commit an infinite crime, like a crime that's worth infinite punishment? I think you see where I'm going with this. There's really nothing a human can do to warrant being punished infinitely. All the crimes that we do here are like finite crimes. I can't think of anything that would be appropriately punished. Like say you unalived a person. Yeah, you should go to prison for a long time. In some states you might get the death penalty, but in no case can the punishment last beyond your life. It's a finite punishment. And that's my problem with the conception of hell. If God is perfectly just in all ways, I don't see how an infinite punishment would be considered justice for a finite crime of not having a certain belief during your lifetime. So kind of to me casts some doubt onto that attribute of God being is conceived as perfectly just. What do you think of that? Not saying this disproves God, but just weakens that particular conception that most like theologians have. Good night, Heather. Snyder, thanks for being with us tonight. What's up, Belfast Bob? Only thing you have in common with God is that we always need money. AJ, yeah, some people seem like they would deserve eternal punishment, right? Huh? Perhaps so. But yeah, just for being an atheist or a Buddhist, I don't think that is on par with Hitler, right? Because according to what Stoner's telling us here, me and you, presumably AJ, would get the same infinite punishment like a mass murderer or Hitler God gets. And that to me just doesn't sound like justice. So let's move on from that. That's just one of my thoughts. Again, I'm not saying I'm disproving anything. I'm kind of calling into question that attribute that's typically attributed. Anyway, I'm eating a steak in my honor. Yeah, you can have a Beyond Steak right now. I'll assume that's what you're having there, RTG. You're probably enjoying a nice plant-based steak right now, huh? Are you eating soy? I bet you're eating soy right now, huh? Come on, YouTube. All right. Yeah, he was probably eating a mushroom steak, right, Carmichael? Or he could have been eating Beyond Steak. You know, we don't know. He didn't tell us. He just said he's eating steak. Like, cool, good for you, awesome. I hope you're enjoying that plant-based steak. Are you eating soy too? I bet you're eating soy as well, huh? Maybe so, Tessa. I'm not sure. Ryan 3, I got 3 wins tonight. Yeah, it could be a broccoli steak. Who knows, huh? You guys are getting me hungry. Yeah, Angie and I did not exactly plan a dinner out tonight. So, yeah, we had some like sort of junk food, like vegan fish tacos, you know, with plant, you know, like, you know, she chopped up a bunch of veggies and stuff and put them on there. But yeah, it wasn't the greatest thing. But yeah, it could have been a tofu steak, right? But I'm pretty hungry. Yeah, cauliflower steak. Yeah, it's totally a thing as well. That's probably what that ranting troll was eating. Let's assume that he, and I'm assuming it was a dude, was eating a cauliflower steak. Yes, veggies are vegan. They have a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. So let's see. So next week, I'm not sure how my schedule is going to be. I have a few weird things happening next week. Not all of them are good. Some are good, some are not that great, but I have a few things that are going to make me busier than normal next week. So hopefully I'll have another video. I had an idea earlier this week and I forgot what it was going to be. It wasn't going to be one of my typical response videos either. Gosh, I should have wrote it down. I can't remember because I'm vegan, right? No, it's just because I'm just juggling so many things mentally right now. But yeah, we'll see if I can get a new video out next week. And also next week, our Disneyland passes allow us back in. So we'll probably go there one day after having not gone since May. So we'll see how if that works out for us. Yeah, let's get going. I'm hungry. I should get out there. And I started the live stream a little early today. I just came in here and everything just clicked together quickly as far as getting my setup together. So yeah, let's call it a night. I think it takes a little more energy too to like deal with the anti-vegan responses, the poop wall stuff and all that tonight. So I want to thank everyone for all their generosity tonight. Belfast Bob and Carmichael and CA Garden and AJ and Brian. And at the beginning of the live stream, Dr. Chain came by right like in the first minute. So thank you guys for your generosity with your super chats, and appreciate it. It just helps us just keep all this happening here. So thank you so much, and thank you, Uncle, for holding the fort down without Peter, just you and me tonight. And yeah, we actually probably could have used Peter maybe tonight, but I think we did fine. Just no big deal. Just had to make sure the people in question, Uncle, they're like following the rules and being decent people, and they were for the most part. So thank you so much, and thank you for all our followers, all our longtime viewers, our channel members, non-channel members. Thank you for being here with me. As always, you guys are an important part of my life. Seriously, just my well-being. You guys make me just better, just a better person, just chilling with you guys, hanging out with you guys. So I appreciate that. And hopefully our whole experience here is good for you guys too, your mental well-being and everything. So thank you so much. So, all right, guys, I guess that is it. We'll have a new song out next week too. It's already out on Bandcamp, but it'll be released on streaming next week. And Andrew will have a video ready. It's already ready, but I haven't launched it yet. So hopefully we'll share our new song with you next week as well too, guys. So thanks so much. I thought I was going to say something else. No, I just got to go eat some food, guys. I'm starving, guys. So I'll see you guys next week. Thanks, and remember, it doesn't suck being vegan. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.